Welcome to Arcade Audio.
Welcome to Dilettante Ball. I'm Johnny.
I'm Spencer.
Here on Dilettante Ball, we go on Wikipedia.
We quick random article.
And we talk about it.
Yeah, we do. Congratulations, President Trump.
Or President Clinton. Or President, that one guy in Utah, Evan McMullin.
Is that real?
Yeah. Have you ever heard about him?
No.
It's actually wild. Because Utah is, super Mormon.
Yeah. Well, surprisingly not as Mormon as you think. But,
Sure.
But
Yeah,
easily the most Mormon state in the country.
Probably in the world. I have a friend actually.
Did you know, real quick, there are more Mormons outside the United States than are inside?
I believe that actually. I have a friend actually who worked at a JCC, a Jewish Community Center in Salt Lake City.
That's amazing.
Which is like,
let's do it.
okay, he was like the one dude just waiting in case someone showed up.
Yeah, just waiting in the pool.
At the desk, yeah. Or at the pool, yeah. But anyway, there's this dude, Evan McMullin, who like potentially could win Utah.
I would love to see that.
It'd be crazy.
Just like a whole, like when you see like the map on CNN as they're tracking the votes.
Red, blue, and then like yellow.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Like,
what the fuck is that?
Yeah. So obviously, Utah's a conservative state.
Yeah, definitely.
But they're not down with Trump,
right?
Obviously,
right? Because Mormons are conservative, but they're not. They're a lot of things, but they're not what Trump is.
Yeah. So there's like this Mormon dude, Evan McMullin, who he like worked for he's like has a career in government, and he worked for like the FBI or something too. Like he has like a resume.
Sure.
And he's like, yeah, I just want to like genuinely be a good conservative, like center right candidate.
Sure, yeah.
And everyone in Utah's like,
okay,
oh, that's fucking cool, actually. So he could be the first independent candidate to get electoral college votes.
Yeah.
In like
ever, like
70
like
years
Eugene
or something
v.
crazy.
Debs.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
I want that to happen so bad.
So, and then he's also like trying to lay groundwork for like a new conservative party because he's like, yeah, the GOP is just like
it's insane,
unsalvageable.
Like they have all literally banded together to say like we're not gonna approve any Supreme Court nominations that Obama makes or that Hillary makes if she gets elected.
It's crazy.
Guess what? We're gonna throw you the fuck out, dude. Like all of y'all suck and can go die.
And it's so frustrating because, I mean, personally, while I'm personally like very far left.
Yeah.
So, like very far left.
Super duper.
I think that,
which is crazy because I don't feel like it should be considered far left. It should just be like,
oh hey, everyone's just cool.
Yeah.
Be cool. But I think because people are conservative and you're allowed to be conservative as long as you're not like a fucking dickhead, which most are. But I think
most are not. You're saying most are not dickheads. Or you're saying most conservative? I know you're not saying most conservatives are dickheads.
No.
Just the ones you hear about on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like everyone's dad.
Yeah.
Everyone's dad needs to chill out.
Yes. So I think that it's important to reach compromises and have a strong like center, because otherwise this shit happens. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm all for that, even though I would be.
You don't get what you want personally.
Yes, but it's a whole hell of a lot closer than literally nothing.
Then the country shutting down and right.
So I do think that's important, and also, while I am very much against like laws and practices that are racist, homophobic, transphobic, all bad things.
Right.
I do think that conservatives have a right to be conservative as long as they're not like being shitty and hurting other people. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where it breaks down is that we should get into this.
I know,
but it's like,
hey, it's election day, baby.
This is the one day we can do it. They're literally wanting to pass laws that are hurtful to people.
And hey, don't do that.
And they don't care that you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not down with that.
Yeah.
Obviously. But also, hey, let's just all be cool.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So congratulations, President Trump. Or President Clinton.
Or Dictator Obama.
Seriously, though, I would...
You see what Trump said, by the way? Trump's like, hey, Mr. Trump, are you going to accept defeat if you don't win? Well, we'll see what happens.
Well, and then at a speech later, he was like, yeah, I'll accept the election if I win.
Yeah, all right.
I would love, though, if the election happens...
And he legitimately
Trump wins, and then Obama's like, no. And then Obama just stays president forever.
I would join the Obama army, dude.
For real,
though.
I
would. Yeah, damn it.
And fuck. So Dumbledore's army, the DA.
Mm-hmm.
Barack's army, the BA.
Donald's army, the DA.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Obama for emperor. Actually, though. And let's get an article. Gosh, I feel like we've been like very political lately because of the election. It's done now. We've been negative. I feel like we've been negative lately.
Right.
I don't like it. So
we're going to be very positive about this article.
Yes. What if
the
it's
Baton
just like,
Death March is fuck.
Oh, this is great. Just a multinational corporation. CSG International is a multinational corporation headquartered in Englewood, Colorado. It provides business support systems, software, and services primarily to the telecommunications industry.
Okay.
Can I
Already?
I want to do a veto.
Really?
I want something positive, and I want a veto because there's nothing positive that can come out of us talking about a multinational corporation.
I have a couple questions. First of all, are you vetoing because today's election day and you're using a presidential veto?
Yes.
And my second question is, did we say that we each get one veto a year?
I feel like we actually did recently.
I think we did too, and neither of us have used one ever.
I would like to use my veto.
I think that's a good call.
I want.
There's only so many episodes left for the year.
Yeah,
and they're
use
not
it or
going to
lose
roll
it.
over.
Yeah, they do not roll over. That is very important. So, come the last episode of the year, if you haven't vetoed, you need to.
I'm just going on principle.
Even if the article is
like Hitler,
Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope, you have to veto it.
Lose my mind.
But then when you veto
principle,
it,
just because
we'd get Empire Strikes Back.
God provides. All right, so you're gonna use your veto.
Yeah, I'm officially using the first ever Dilettante Ball veto.
Wow,
This is
I love that.
I've used more vetoes than any other host in the history of this podcast.
That's why I need to get you out of here.
I'm nervous now. Fuck.
There's no. And I was gonna do something funny where like if it was like a good solid article, I was gonna veto it.
No,
but now I'm not going to.
This is what I get.
Yeah.
Operation Retribution, also known as Operation Punishment.
No way.
Was the code name used for the April 1941 German bombing of Belgrade, the capital of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, in the first days of the German-led Axis invasion of Yugoslavia.
That's too good.
Like, I literally said, I want to be positive.
So good.
And I got quite possibly, I mean, there are very few articles that are less positive than Operation Retribution, also known as Operation Punishment,
in which the Germans bomb another country during World War II.
Fuck. Well,
that's too good.
This is I made my bed.
Yeah.
Let's eat in it. The operation commenced on the 6th April and concluded on 7 or 8 April. We don't even know. It was so fucking bad that we don't even know when it ended, resulting in the paralysis of Yugoslav civilian and military command and control, widespread destruction largely in the center of the city, and significant civilian casualties.
Stay positive.
The bombing of Belgrade was preceded by the commencement of the ground invasion a few hours earlier, and also coincided with air attacks on a large number of Royal Yugoslav Air Force airfields and other strategic targets across Yugoslavia. The invasion resulted in the surrender of Yugoslav forces on 17 April.
Oh, see, there you go. Ended fighting.
There's that silver lining. Fuck off. This sucks.
That's too good, dude.
Happy Election Day. Great. I'm never vetoing again.
Well, you can't. Well, I mean, not for at least another month.
It can only get worse.
Maybe every time we veto that, the universe is like, oh, you don't like what I gave you, huh? All right, well, how about this then?
Fuck.
Operation Punishment.
Man, you know how you say D-Day in French?
How?
Le jour J.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do like a
no,
joke.
It wasn't a joke. I'm just trying to stay positive. Okay. And French is one of the ways I know how, which just is French for D-Day.
Sure.
That's all.
Man. Operation Punishment.
Where do you even go from there?
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty rough. Did you ever read the Diary of Anne Frank?
No, I haven't. I should.
I know the basic like plot lines or whatever you want to call it. Like
yeah.
I don't know what you would call it.
It's not whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Isn't it so weird?
It's real weird. And what's the? Was it okay to publish?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a weird thing.
I really have no idea.
I mean, in general, people seem cool with it, but it's also like, I don't keep a diary, but I don't want that shit out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe it's like the greater cultural good,
Maybe.
you know, or whatever.
Have you ever kept a diary? Or a journal?
Sort of, not really. Like my mom encouraged me to keep one, but it was not like a daily thing by any stretch.
I don't even know what I would do now. It would be like, worked today. It was good.
Yeah.
It would be.
I only wrote in it for like big things or whatever.
Sure.
Like, today I went, my first trip, by myself away from home or whatever,
New Nintendo Power came out today.
Yeah. This time I'm going to beat Castlevania.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine what I would write about.
And that isn't, that's part of why life is stupid, right? Oh, I gotta stay positive. Okay.
No, what do you mean?
Well, it's like the days all blend together, and that's sort of our fault for letting them blend it together.
Sure, but even still, like, even if it was a crazy day, it would be like, man, I went to Disney World, and I went on this ride and this ride and this ride, and it was great, and I had a lot of fun, and I ate ice cream.
Right.
And then I came home, and I had an improv show, and Barack Obama sat in.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, sure, but it's not like I'm not gonna fucking forget Obama sitting in with us for an improv show. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for your son or something, or not your son, but like my son. Your diary's for my son.
Yeah, Or yeah, I don't know. Or I truly don't know. I
don't know what the purpose of them is.
I think a better thing for me to do that I won't do would be a dream journal. Because you forget dreams. Right. Your mind is like a sieve, and the dreams just drip on out. Maybe I'll do that. Should I do that?
Journal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be more interesting. Maybe.
But even still, it would be like,
it'd be interesting to you.
My microwave turned into a marshmallow.
Right, yeah.
And then it was in an improv show with Obama. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. I mean, my mom kept one.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like I would be interested to go back and read my mother's journal because like I don't know a lot about her past or where she came from. Same with my father. Like I don't really know anything.
Interesting.
Like I know a couple things here and there, like stories she's told or whatever. But like
yeah,
I don't have the full picture.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like I have like stories in my head of what my dad did, but I don't even know if I made those up or if he told me them or what. Like but it's just like I don't know 20, 30 years of like I have no idea. It was like Jesus. It was like, oh yeah, I remember I heard a story about my dad when he was 10, and then when he was 30, when he had me.
Yeah,
like, I have no idea what he did for like the most of his real life.
Yeah, weird.
Like the good years.
Yeah,
before me,
when it was just him and the tires.
The tires?
Good years.
Oh god.
Hey, stay positive, baby. Yeah. I guess I don't really know much about my parents then either.
Yeah.
It's a real shame because I would have loved to know more about my great grandparents. Did you know that I knew my great grandparents like very well?
I don't think I did know that.
Yeah,
That's wild.
They both died when I was in high school, so like I knew them very well.
That's crazy.
And I was over there like multiple times a week, every weekend, all weekend. Yeah,
so it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Would you like eat dinner over there with them or something?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Would they cook like cool shit, or would they be like, oh damn it, like mashed potatoes again?
No, it was cool. It was cool shit. It was like grandparent shit. Also, I was a really picky eater, so also a lot of times I was just like,
give me some
I
chicken
just want a
nuggets.
grilled cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what would y'all do? Would y'all hang out and like play games or something, or like watch TV?
We played a lot of Trivial Pursuit.
Okay.
And just watch TV.
Did your like great grandparents like smoke you every time? Because they just lived longer, so they knew more shit.
I'm sure that they were easy on me.
Okay.
But I feel like I didn't do that bad because I've always been into trivia, and that's all.
I just feel like Trivia Pursuit's hard.
Yeah, maybe also all the cards that you have or that anyone has are from like 60 years ago. Yeah, so it's like, what? Jumpin' Jack Flash. It was like, what?
Like, what is it?
Yeah, and we would play a game called Rummikub.
I know the name. I
don't remember how to play, but I remember playing it.
I feel like I was taught a child's version of Rummikub, but I've forgotten it since.
We'd go like swimming and shit. They had a pool and a trampoline. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
And they did real cool Christmas shit. And hey, it's Christmas is allowed now. We're allowed to talk about Christmas.
Yeah, we can talk about Christmas.
They were. I mean, my parents helped too, but they were real into like, Santa's real. So they would do cool shit. So every year,
your great grandpa get up on the roof and like, stomp around.
Every year, there was one year when they did step on the roof, and it was like, oh fuck, you hear that on the roof? Let's go outside and see. And then we would go outside, and you couldn't see anything. Come back in, the presents were there.
No way.
Yeah, one year, and they had this toy that sounded like sleigh bells. They had sleigh bells that they would like ring while we were outside. Someone else would. And then, someone would always come out and be like, oh, yeah, I was in the bathroom. What'd I miss? And I was like, an idiot kid. And it was like, dog, Santa was here. in one year, this was like the coolest. It's still so cool to me. They had a screened in room in the back, and sometimes they would put the tree out there.
Okay.
And one year they like used a snow cone machine or something and made boot prints leading up to the tree, so it looked like snowy boot prints. And it was like,
that's awesome.
It was
like
fucking
he had tracked
tight.
snow in from like Minnesota or something.
Yeah, or well, the North Pole, presumably.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I just feel like he travels so fast. Like he could have just been anywhere with snow.
Sure.
Man, that's the freaking best. I love that.
It was real cool.
Yeah. I'm very much down with that. Man, good for them. Like, say, hey, we're in Florida, but we're gonna make the best of this situation.
And I also, my great grandmother died when I was very young, so I don't remember her. But
you're like a bad luck charm.
I have, yeah. Whoa! Who's this baby?
Who's this baby?
Yeah, so I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but there's a picture of it's me, my mother, her father, his mother, her mother, all of us in one picture, which is like fucking nutty.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
When was she born? Do you know?
1784, I want to say. No, I really have no idea.
Okay.
I know that my grandpa was in World War, or my great grandpa. I was actually closer with my great grandparents than I was with my grandparents.
Is that because your grandparents lived in like New York or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were my mom's grandparents. So when they moved to Florida, my mom was like, "Oh, I'm gonna move to Florida too to be close to you guys."
Isn't that so weird that like he didn't like know your grandpa, but you knew his dad?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's up? Your son's whack. I'm hanging out with you. Is that cool? Fix a motorcycle with you.
Kid. Yeah. And then their son is my grandfather, and he's still alive, and his sister is my great aunt or something.
Whatever.
And I was super close with her too, and she died when I was in college.
Okay.
And she eventually like moved in with my parents, and they made like a little apartment in the garage.
Okay.
So I was super close with her too, and she's whatever, my grandpa's sister.
Sure.
Yeah, she was. It doesn't matter.
Step
She's
grandma.
dead now. Who cares? But she was really cool.
Man, that's
yeah.
great. Well, did she do anything interesting, like hobbies, or did she like paint, or?
No, she worked at the Hartford, the insurance company.
Okay.
Not basically, that was like the only place she worked. So
for like
it was
35, 40 years. Like.
It was from, when she finished high school, she dropped out of high school actually, started working there, and worked there until she retired.
So like 50 years.
Yeah, and I remember when I was younger, they were like, "Hey, Pat, did you graduate high school? Because you told us you did, but did you really?" And she didn't. So it was like kind of a thing, even though she'd already been working there like 30 years.
Man, that's amazing. Like, what were they going to do? Like, no, I didn't. Well, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, you got us this time. But next time, graduate high school. Like, all right, you got me.
She also had scleroderma.
Okay.
Which is a condition. There are two forms. There's systemic, and I don't know what the other one is called. And she had the other one. I believe it's called systemic. Okay. But it hardens either your internal organs, or she did not have that one.
Okay. So you become a superhero.
Yes.
Impervious to
anything.
Bullets and yeah.
But it hardens like your skin.
Okay.
So it was worst on her hands, but they she just couldn't move her hands at all.
So like her hand like fused into like a shape and it just stayed that way.
Yeah. Yeah, like a claw essentially. But she could still like
Bob Dole has something like that.
Really?
I don't know if it's the exact same thing or not, but yeah, like his whatever hand it is, like let's say it's his left hand, is always clenched in like a fist. So he puts a pen in it. So it always looks like he's like holding a pen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, or it's his right hand. It's his right hand because he can't shake hands. He's like, oh, sorry, I got my pen in my hand, so I can't shake hands.
Pretty sneaky, sis.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think his is from being like a war hero or something.
Maybe he Johnny Tremained it.
Yeah.
Spilt some molten silver on it.
Right. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
But she could still like. I mean, she had that like while she was working. She could still type and shit. It was pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah. That's all. She was cool.
My grandpa was Evil Knievel. Did I ever tell you that? So. Bunch of cool stories that he would always tell me.
Oh no way! Like what?
Just about like paintings he made. And
oh no! Not that Evil Knievel. I'm so sorry about the misunderstanding.
No relation. No, my grandpa was a foreign dignitary named Evil Knievel, and so he would.
I'm trying to think of what else like cool shit they did. I mean, my great grandfather was in World War II.
Was he
coming
in
back around?
Operation Crucible, wherever the fuck it was.
Yeah. No, he was stationed in Saipan.
Okay, so he's American.
Yes.
He's fighting in the
good fight.
Fight the good fight.
Yeah.
He's in the Pacific Theater.
Yeah, but he did radio stuff, so
Okay.
he actually didn't really see any action.
Signal Corps.
But they did have POWs. Like they had Japanese POWs, and
that he was like in command of or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, what? Do we treat them well or not? What do you think? Stay positive.
I know. Well, I mean,
Yes.
the stories from a very old man indicate that they were okay.
Okay.
He said that they would like they'd sneak like the POWs would like steal fresh fruit and shit from like the commissary or
Sure.
something, and everybody knew, but they were like, it's fine.
Let them have it. It's
Yeah.
free.
So
That's cool.
Again, this was stories that a very old man told me when I was like 17 and younger.
Right.
So who the fuck actually knows?
Yeah. They stole fruit. I mean, let them have it.
Yeah.
Like, wait, come talk to me when you're 21. I'll tell you some stories.
Yeah. So who knows? He was also like a super nice, super positive guy. So he might have
Not been part of the-
remembered the best version of it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Who knows?
God. There was a guy when I was in Boy Scouts who went on a big bike trip, like 20-mile bike trip or whatever, and one of the guys that's like one of the leaders was in Vietnam, and he just like that night just told us like all this crazy like Vietnam shit. And it wasn't like he wasn't a POW or anything like that, but he was just in Vietnam and just like here's some crazy shit, like a bunch of like 15-year-old boys. Here's some stories for you.
Yeah, I never heard any of that.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet at the time. Which there's still like interesting stories
For sure.
And he told them, he was like, look, like it was just who I was, like that's what I did. Like, would I do it now? Nope. But
How crazy must it be to, even if you're like in a war, even if you're in World War II, which was like
best case scenario for good and bad.
Yeah, essentially.
Right.
You still like fucking killed people.
Yeah. And most of those guys were just normal guys like you too.
I mean, honestly though,
Yeah.
that's so crazy.
Like 90% of the dudes were just
oh, this is what my country's doing.
that's
I
what
guess
I'm doing.
this is what I have to do.
here I am.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do, man?
Stay positive.
You gotta stay positive.
My great grandmother worked so young. She was so young when she started working. She was like a waitress at a diner or something.
Okay.
That they would when like city inspectors or whatever, this was in New York, NYC, city inspectors would come, they would like fucking hide her.
But she wanted to be working. Like she wanted to be earning money, or
Well,
no one wants to be working.
She
But
had to be, I think.
was she working to like support her family or something? Like
Probably, yeah.
Because I live in New York, so it's so damn expensive.
Even then,
man.
$4,500 a month for a studio.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, she was like just riddled with lice, which is why they had to hire her.
Oh, my aunt or my great aunt or whatever the fuck, she also had polio.
Man,
So she was a very unlucky lady.
what am I gonna come down with?
Everything. Oh, she also had celiac disease.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm dead.
It's crazy.
What do you think? Best case scenario. What are we gonna die from?
Hit by a bus.
Hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Be positive.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, gotta be positive. Like,
Yeah.
hit by a bus, one and done. We're out.
Yeah. Or like a bus is going fucking fast.
Yeah, like so fast. Like the speed bus.
Yeah. Well, 55 miles an hour is not that fast.
Pretty fast. It's not. It could be better. It could be faster.
It's not. You.
What's the best speed to be hit by a bus at?
Light
speed. See you later.
When I met Drew Carey, I think I've told you that.
You did?
He like the first year we moved here, or maybe the second year, we saw Wait, Don't Tell Me, and he was the guest host.
Sure.
And afterwards, like all of the people just hang out, and I talked to him for like 2 or 3 minutes, and he was like, he was like that. He was so nice, and
I can totally see that. I'm so happy to know.
And
that.
he was like, "So what do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I actually do improv." And he was like, "Oh, no way! So you do stuff at IO? You see Sharna and her dogs?" And he
Holy
was just
shit.
like, it was crazy. And it was like, and then when we were leaving, he was like, "Yeah, hey, good luck with the improv, man." Like he was
Fuck.
absolutely
Best dude.
the best dude. Yeah.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.